Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Wills, Women, and Wealth podcast, where we lead you holistically from overwhelmed to empowered through estate planning. I'm Elsa W. Smith, your Maryland estate planning and probate attorney, and the host of the Wills, Women, and Wealth podcast. This is a podcast for women who value their health, their wealth, and the legacies that they are creating. Each episode is going to bring you interviews in the areas of finance, law, mental, and physical health, and so much more. I'll also share educational episodes like the one today that answer your questions on wills, estate planning, and probate topics. This is a community, so I want you to engage. If you have a question or a topic that you'd like me to address on an upcoming podcast, please let us know in the comments or reach out to us on social media. This and all future episodes will be available on YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. As a reminder, we do appreciate your reviews and giving us a thumbs up so that we can keep the podcast going. Today, I'd like to talk to you about a topic that touches on the delicate intersection of law, responsibility, and empathy, and that is protecting a decedent's home and personal property. Tips for personal representatives. Now, it's a task that carries significant weight, and understanding the nuances of this role is crucial for both personal representatives and beneficiaries. Just as a reminder, during the second half of this podcast episode, and in response to one of our subscribers, I'm going to address how the emotional distress of beneficiaries can significantly complicate the role of a personal representative as they are performing the task of protecting a decedent's property. So let's get started. When a loved one passes away, it's a time of profound sadness and distress. Now, amidst the grieving process, there's also the daunting prospect of handling a deceased person's affairs, including their home and personal belongings. This is where the role of a personal representative becomes vital as they step in to navigate the complexities of the probate process while ensuring that the decedent's assets are safeguarded. Let's talk about securing assets. One of the initial steps for a personal representative is to secure the decedent's assets, including their home and personal property. Now, this may include, changing locks, security systems, and, talking to neighbors, letting them know what's going on. And I'll talk more about that in a minute. But securing the property is not only for its protection, but also to provide peace of mind to the family during this sensitive time. One of the responsibilities of a personal representative is to protect the property from loss or damage. Now, in doing so, it involves maintaining the physical integrity of the decedent's home in order to protect its value. Regular upkeep like lawn care, property maintenance have to continue as required and necessary. Promptly addressing any structural issues like roof leaks or plumbing problems prevent further deterioration. And adequate insurance coverage should also be maintained to safeguard the property from unforeseen events like fire, natural disasters, or theft. And I'll talk more about that in a minute. As far as regular maintenance, that has to continue. Continue regular maintenance of the property to prevent deterioration. As I mentioned, lawn care, snow removal, if that's applicable, as well as structural issues. Neglecting maintenance can lead to a decreased property value. With respect to utilities and bills, you've got to keep utilities such as water, gas, and electricity active as necessary to maintain the property's integrity. Paying ongoing bills and property taxes to avoid liens or penalties that could affect the property's status during probate is very important. Consider installing a comprehensive security system that includes surveillance cameras, motion detectors, and alarm systems. These systems can alert authorities and send notifications to um, the personal representative or a security company in the event of a breach. Let's talk about lighting. Timers for lights, uh, televisions, and so forth can create the illusion of occupancy, deterring potential thieves. So set timers or consider setting timers to mimic the decedent's usual routines, including turning lights on and off at appropriate times. Ensure that all exterior doors, including garage and basement entrances, are securely locked and reinforced. Consider installing deadbolts and strike plates for added security. We talked about landscape earlier. Overgrown bushes and trees near windows or entrances can provide cover for intruders. So trim back vegetation to eliminate hiding spots. This one's one I'm always asked about, the mail. Secure the mail. An overflowing mailbox or packages left on a doorstep can signal that the home is vacant. So arrange to have mail and packages collected or held at the post office for later pickup. We were talking about security systems before. Consider remote monitoring. Utilize smart home technology to remotely monitor the property. Wi-Fi enabled security cameras and smart locks can be controlled and monitored via smartphone apps. And lock down tools and equipment. Ensure that tools and equipment such as ladders, garden tools, and workbenches and so forth, that all those things are securely stored. These items can be used by burglars to gain access to the property. Remember that the goal is to create a secure and well monitored environment that makes it less attractive for thieves to target the decedent's home. So, a combination of physical security measures, technology, and vigilant oversight can really go a long way in deterring potential intruders during the probate process. Now, the personal representative has other things that he or she must consider. Pay careful attention to the decedent's personal property, right? Especially items with sentimental value, and store these valuable items securely and protect them from damage during the probate process as best as possible. Address any specific wishes in the decedent's will regarding the distribution of personal property, but and there's an asterisk on that, do not distribute the property until the court has given its authorization for you to do so. The probate process, the personal representative is going to need to take an inventory of the decedent's real and personal property. They'll also need to have items appraised if they are not qualified to assess their value. This process might involve seeking the assistance of experts such as professional appraisers or estate sale professionals, and that's to assess the value of certain assets like antiques, military memorabilia, fine jewelry, and art and music collections. The decedent's home and other pieces of real property will also need to be appraised. Now, depending on the decedent's will or state laws, you may need to decide whether to distribute the property to beneficiaries or sell it. If selling is the chosen option, you should work with a real estate agent to ensure a fair market value is obtained. And to that point, make sure that you connect with someone who is familiar with the area, with the neighborhood, and has an infrastructure that can assist you in getting top value for that home. Navigating the probate process can be intricate and time consuming. and personal representatives need to follow state laws and court requirements diligently. This means submitting required documents and notifying creditors promptly. By doing so, the personal representative ensures a smooth progression through probate while preserving the property's integrity. Here's another consideration: respecting sentimental value. Beyond the legal and financial aspects, personal property often holds immense sentimental value for family members. Photographs, heirlooms, and other cherished items are irreplaceable. The personal representative should handle these items with the utmost care and empathy. If there are disputes among beneficiaries regarding sentimental items, mediation or legal assistance may be necessary to find fair solutions. And now that we're talking about beneficiaries, effective communication with beneficiaries is key to maintaining trust and transparency. Regular updates about the status of the probate process, including any decisions related to the property, can alleviate concerns and potential conflicts. It's crucial to provide beneficiaries with a clear understanding of timelines and expectations. Now we've come to the second half of this podcast, and as promised, I want to talk about something that personal representatives have to deal with while securing the decedent's property, and that's the emotional distress of beneficiaries. Dealing with the emotional distress of family members and beneficiaries can be challenging. Grief and potential disputes among family members may complicate the process of securing the home. Disagreements and conflicts, grief and emotional distress can amplify existing family tensions and disagreements. Beneficiaries may have differing opinions about the handling of the decedent's home and personal property, leading to conflicts that the personal representative must navigate. Beneficiaries sometimes have unrealistic expectations about the property's value, distribution, or a timeline for resolution. Managing these expectations and explaining the legal and logistical constraints can be challenging. Emotional beneficiaries may attempt to intervene in the personal representative's decision making or property management, potentially causing disruptions in the probate process. When emotions run high, beneficiaries may be more inclined to consider legal action or contest the personal representative's decisions, especially if they perceive that their interests are not being adequately represented. And dealing with emotionally distressed beneficiaries can take a toll on the personal representative's own emotional well being, making it challenging to maintain objectivity and focus on their responsibilities. My advice, honestly, is to seek counsel when necessary, especially if there are complexities or disputes surrounding the property. An attorney with experience in probate and real estate can provide valuable guidance. In essence, being a personal representative is a role that requires a delicate balance between legal responsibilities and emotional sensitivity. It's about honoring the decedent's legacy while ensuring the fair and orderly distribution of assets. By taking comprehensive steps to secure and protect the decedent's home and personal property during probate, the personal representative can provide solace to grieving families and help them navigate this challenging period with grace and compassion. We guide clients in protecting real and personal property of decedents during probate, and we can do the same for you. I want to invite you to book a free 15-minute call with a member of our team. There's absolutely no obligation. And if you're in Maryland or the District of Columbia, we would certainly welcome the opportunity to speak with you. The link will be below in the show notes. I'm Elsa W. Smith, your Maryland estate planning and probate attorney. I want to thank you for watching this episode of the Wills, Women, and Wealth podcast. Take care and make it a great day.